All right, guys. So I'm trying to get this all set up and ready for you before we move anywhere. So just bear with me a second. And I think what I'll do is I'll move this here because it helps me to be able to work. Let me just make sure that the what do you call it is there. Yep, it's there. So that should be fine. And I think I'll be able to sit from here and show you a lot of things. Now, you may not be able to see the screen too much, but it's perfectly fine. What matters is that we can have a conversation. I might need to take this off. So bear with me, and I'm almost ready. And hopefully we can get started. Now, I'm going to put the same screen up so that I can actually hear from you. There's what we will do here, and then there's what we will do. We will continue with. Let me see how this whole thing works. Just bear with me a second, and I should be able to see the live session. Yeah, that's it, and I can go to it as well. Good. All right. So what I will do is I will mute this. And the reason why I will mute it is so that we don't have that feedback. And then that way I can see any of your comments here, and then I can respond to your comments. If we had done Facebook, we could have had a two-way thing, but everybody voted to do it on YouTube, and I guess it's so that you can listen to it later on as well. So yeah, just bear with me a second. Let me get as much as I can in terms of first of all reducing the volume on that because we don't need the volume on that. So just reduce that, and we can get started. Okay, so let us get started now, and hopefully things would start to make sense. So first of all, can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Now, the only way I can know that is through the comments. So if you can hear me clearly, please. Okay, I'm going to turn comments on. So just bear with me a second. I don't know why on earth I did not turn the comments on. Um, let's come back over here and edit that. Hopefully I'll be able to turn comments on. I think it's if not, I'll rely on Telegram for comments. Okay. Here you go. Users can view ratings. Okay, I don't want to disable comments, but I don't have the ability to edit it either. Okay. For some reason, the ability to add comments has been disabled, and I cannot sort that out right now. So, comments are the name of these videos. And disabled, but minus. Okay. It's because I made it set made for kids. That's why. So I shouldn't have done that. Well, at least now I know that. Let me quickly see if I can change that. And if I can change that, then we're good to go. If I can't change that, then we just let it go. Just bear with me a second. Um, okay, let's close that down. Close this down. Close this down. And we're back here. So go to the basics. Public. Okay, there you go. And save those changes. And I'm sure I should. There you go. Allow all comments and sorted. Okay, so let us go back to the channel video, and I'm sure that we can take it from there. Channel, yeah, okay, good, and the comments are available. All right, so I'm just going to say hello, everyone. And then if you can reply me, that's good. And then we can take it from there. So there is what I'm doing here for the benefit of the global audience. And then there's what we're going to talk about after, basically, for us as DBT candidates. So first of all, the reason why we have this session is to um, be aware of exactly where we are and be aware of exactly where we are going and what is going to happen in the market between now and then. Now, I sent something over to you guys earlier. My hope was that a lot of people read it, but when I speak to people on a one-to-one, a lot of people have not read it, and I felt, you know what, I need to have this session and make sure that at least everybody calls in and I can have this session with you guys. So, sorry, 1 second. So, what I will do first is I'll go through it with you. I sent this to you a while back. I took time to do the homework, to do the hard work, and I sent it to you all. I'm going to send it again, and then we're going to go through it together. And then from there, for those of you that I'm speaking to on a one-to-one basis, helping with your CVs, helping with your cover letters, helping you map out your career path, helping you decide where you should start, our conversations can now carry on from there. I hope it makes sense. Okay, so once again, I'll just come over here and confirm that you can hear me. So please confirm you can hear me. Can you all hear me, please? Either you're typing in the YouTube, what do you call it, to say that you can hear me. There you go. So I can say hello. There's a chat there, so I can say hello. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Shalom. So you can hear me, so that's really, really good. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do, so everyone can hear me clearly. Yes, you can hear it. Fantastic. Okay, now, so let's just go through it together. You guys have heard me say this like hundreds of times. The general who knows the future cannot lose the war. That is one. Number two, um, um, we must be the Joseph of our times. What we do with our time today will determine our earning power tomorrow. This corona pandemic can come across like a disaster, and we pray that our loved ones and family members will not be affected. However, we also must look past it. We must prepare for life after it. Now, I'll go through what I wrote. If even better, I think what I'll do is I put it on a Word document earlier today. So now that I've done that, I'll just enlarge it and hopefully you can actually see it. Okay, so let me just take that off. And what I'll do is I'll now enlarge it properly so that you can see. Like I said, I've sent it to most of you already anyway. So most of you have seen it. But we'll just go through it together. I think if you don't mind, let me just try and enlarge this as much as I can. And there's a strong chance that I'm going to go onto that screen and enlarge the screen so that you see more of what's going on here rather than the whole screen. So there you go. So hopefully you can see that. Just bear with me and let me see if that helps in this respect. Okay, so yeah, you can see something, and I think I have a solution. So just bear with me a second. I'll try one thing. All right. Don't look at my chair. Oh, that thing has spoiled for a long time. Can't be bothered to change it. Okay, so I think this should help. All right, so that should help. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see my face that much, but this should help. And I think this should help. Okay, so let us get started. All right, so I don't know how much of that you'll be able to see, but you should be able to see something. That's all I can say. All right, now, want to make sure that we're ready for the next 12 weeks. One of the first things that we need, if you just Google as much as you can, read as much news as you can. It has been said that this pandemic could last up to spring 2021. I don't think so. With the results that are coming out with this chloroquine idea in terms of it impeding the growth of the coronavirus and all that stuff, we could have a breakthrough. There is also evidence that in severe heat, it doesn't spread. I think that's why we're even lucky in Africa. But there is no real evidence for that. But those are suggestions. If we are able to have this forced social distancing, this forced isolation, we might reduce the spread of it. and we could be back in business in 12 weeks. But it suggested that it could carry on to spring 2021. Now, the truth of the matter is the economy cannot survive that, and there's a strong chance that we are going to hit a recession. Morgan Stanley says that it's 7.6%. The market will fall, the economy will fall 7.6%. Others are a bit more optimistic and saying 1.7%. Others are saying 5 point something percent. Whatever the case, the market is we're going to something is going to happen, and it's not exactly great news. And it's common sense. I mean, you don't need to listen to somebody telling you that everything is going to be okay if you can see the signals and signs yourself. What do I mean by that? Unemployment is set to hit 2.3 million. It's actually growing, and that's because businesses are not making money, they can't pay their staff. Now, even though the government is willing to pay 80% of the wages, if I'm not making money and you are paying 80% of my staff wages, but I'm not making money, how long can I do that? Because they're not doing it for the next 6 months, they're not doing it for the next 1 year. Do you see where I'm coming from? So how long will it take me to get back into business? So those are the kind of things that everybody is looking at. But then one thing that we should all be aware of, which is very important, is that this is not the first outbreak. We had SARS, we had the I can't remember the last one, the one in Middle East, Mars or whatever it is, and now we have this one, and it's getting worse. I mean, from what they've said, is as a result of global warming, is as a result of pollution in the air, is as a result of us burning down our forests. Things that should naturally protect us are no longer protecting us, and it's basically we're doing ourselves. It's not there's no what's the word? There is no plague, or God is not punishing us. We are the ones that are punishing ourselves. It's just that plain and simple. So don't let anybody spiritualize anything for you. See it as it is, and know what you are going to do about it. It's just that plain and simple. I believe that just like Noah in the Bible was told that this is what's going to happen, we are being warned. Nobody ever promised, God didn't promise that everything is going to be okay. He said, He will see us through it. So we just need to know what is going to happen. We need to be the Joseph of our times. So, as a result of what is happening, operational efficiency is strained. Profitability is almost non-existent. You have seen travel industry needing help, and other entertainment business needing help. Companies are for the first time having to rely on this VPN network, basically being able and at the same time look at the security of their data as people are working from home. So they are heavily involved in now implementing the digital initiative of operational efficiency in terms of anytime, anywhere, the ability for your employees to be able to work anytime, anywhere, but also anytime, anywhere in regards to your anytime, anywhere in regards to your customers, be able to ability to be able to reach your customers. So, as much as digital transformation has always been part of a company's initiative, it is now the core of their business. And the reason why it is now the core of their business is because they just don't have a choice. You don't only need to reach your customers at their point of need. Basically, you don't need to meet. You don't just need to meet the digitally savvy upward mobile customer. You now need to make sure that your employees are digitally savvy and upward mobile. You need to basically allow your employees to be able to work remotely. And companies are also going to start to realize that, hold on a second, we don't need these offices anymore. Companies that offer training centers will say to themselves that, well, we finally found a way to continue our training, providing this online. Why do we need an office? So you will now see a need to drive down operational costs while improving operational efficiency and throughput as a result of digitization. I was at a conference the other day, and they were introducing this technology that could automate close to 70% of what their workforce does, and they would not need to hire at least 50 to 60% of those staff. And it will save the company millions and millions of pounds. And that was just a conversation. And one of the things they said is in case of a pandemic, and then all of a sudden we are now in this situation. So in consideration in those kind of investments will now be accelerated. There's no doubt about that. Sorry, I just need to make sure you can still see me because sometimes a call can come in and I won't know. Okay. All right. So that's good. So you can still see me. So now, that's a bit of a problem. And then also, you now have companies realizing that if my customer service people, if my sales people, if my support people are not around to support my staff, or I can't afford to keep them because I'm not making money, well, why don't we invest in artificial intelligence that can basically do what our support people can do? Why don't we invest in machine learning? Why don't we invest in chatbots, whereby somebody can be speaking to a real person and we reduce the workforce required if we can automate? Once again, keep automate, digitize, automate. So, um, we can be a lot more efficient if we are driven by data. We can be a lot more efficient if we can gain insights from not just our customer data, but operational data, transactional data, customer activity data, basically entire customer DNA. And by being informed by data, we can make our systems a lot more intelligent. We can identify areas that are repetitive and automated. We can identify areas that need that are conversational but are still a bit repetitive and automated, and use artificial intelligence and machine learning to maintain a conversational flow between the end user and the customer, and then reduce our workforce that we put there. Now, I would say this is great for kind of low level roles, but I saw a presentation on the automation of the BA role, or some BA processes. And what happened was they basically entered certain parameters. So they defined the current system by entering a few parameters, and then talked about what they wanted, enter parameters of what they wanted to achieve in terms of metrics and KPIs. And then this system now went and plugged into all other systems and came up with a solution. So it literally created an as is to be. If anybody understands what I'm talking about, that's a swimming diagram, right? And it mapped it out and it then provided action plans, completely automated. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, even if the BA role will never fully be automated, there will be a part of it that will be automated. So it kind of makes sense that between now and the next 3 months, where will be the focus of most companies? Well, we still need to maintain continuous delivery and continuous improvement and continuous delivery, because as we are now focusing on rolling out digital products that can be integrated into customers' lifestyle, as we are looking at automating as much as we can in the back end operationally, as we are looking at automating interactions with the customers and making it conversational using AI, as we are looking at dropping the cost of our apps and relying on consumer messaging apps, what would happen is we would need to have a more lean approach, a more agile approach to product development. And that product development will now have two arms. Product development as a digital service, in terms of digital services, product development in terms of digital products. So digital service, for example, SaaS, software as a service, internally and also externally. Digital products in terms of improving the customer experience so that you can maintain market share and generate more revenue, and upsell, cross-sell. So you would find that the lean approach means we don't need to hire too many people. Instead of hiring a project manager and having a project support person and then having a big massive PMO office, why don't we just focus on the minimum viable product? Have a small team, a product owner, scrum team, scrum master. Over time, even the scrum master will evolve to merge to because I've been hearing conversations on that, but we're still good. And then have a pipeline for constantly rolling out products and improving on those products. So continuous delivery. So have a delivery manager and have a more lean approach where we're doing less and generating more, but while still maintaining a 99.9% uptime, which means we don't need to take our product down to make improvements. We can continually improve on it incrementally while maintaining that uptime. So you would find that there will be a need for DevOps managers, delivery managers, cloud technology, cloud infrastructure will start to dominate a great deal. and a customer-centric approach to product development where you are data-driven because you haven't got time to make mistakes. You just want to roll out exactly what the customer wants and exactly what would they. Your mistake is from the customer using the product. So your learning is from the customer using the product, not launching the product and then realizing it's a failure. You want to focus on launching the most important thing they need. They use it and you learn from that and you use that to keep improving and you deliver incrementally. So the need to have multiple lean agile product delivery teams would increase, and that will now form a scaled agile development environment, which means that the portfolio management office will now become agile. And at that point, it won't be they are looking for an agile PMO. So it won't be they're looking for a PMO analyst or a project coordinator. It will be they're looking for an agile PMO. So you will find that if you have skilled agile plus PMO experience plus you understand digital technology and the value it offers in terms of business, you'll find that you're in work. If you've been involved in rolling out a number of digital products and you have that domain knowledge and you are data driven and you understand how to have a customer centric approach to product development, you'll find that you'll do very well as a BA. You'll find that in 3 months' time, there will be a need for hybrid roles. You know how during the recession, they started 2008 recession, they started asking for hybrid project managers. Then they now started asking for hybrid project managers through business analysts. That's the same thing that's going to happen here. You'll now find them asking for a hybrid delivery manager stroke scrum master. You see them asking for a hybrid business analyst stroke product owner. You see them asking for product owner stroke product manager. You see them asking for scrum master stroke project manager. You see them asking for agile PMO stroke agile PMO analyst and analytics. They just start mixing it up. Why? Because one, they're trying to be lean. They're trying to have people with versatile skills. Now, all of these things I'm saying, I'm sure it will make sense to you. And if it doesn't make sense to you, I will just go through what I wrote to you guys, and hopefully it will make sense. And I said once this pandemic is over, there will be a complete structural overhaul of major corporation strategies and digital transformation, business continuity, and driving costs down driving down cost while maximizing operational efficiency with less reliance on human resources being the main focus. So I'll explain this in a much easier way. We're back. We have lost X amount of money. We must learn from the lessons of what has just happened right now. We cannot continue to be victims of this. Many companies have gone bankrupt. We could have easily gone bankrupt. Let us focus on business continuity. As a result of business continuity, we can't do it without digitally transforming our business. So digital transformation becomes key. Part of that digital transformation initiative becomes anytime, working anytime, anywhere, improving operational efficiency by automating as much as you can, robotic process automation, and driving down operational costs. But at the same time, building digital products that basically allows the customer to be able to experience the real product without actually coming to your physical center, like your shop or whatever it is, to use that product. And that will be the focus of most companies. So you would find that a lot of people that their jobs require repetitive tasks will start losing their jobs. It's not a curse, it's a fact. There will be a new approach to product management for all businesses and digital technologies being seen as digital technology being seen as an enabler of their future goals and objectives. So you know how we've been talking about APIs, application programming interface. In simple English, it is the ability for one application to communicate with another application. Part of digital transformation initiative is, or principle is, acquire rather than build. We don't have time to build because we want to focus on business. So is there an API that already exists that can help us achieve our objectives? And you will find that many APIs will come together, which they already do now, to deliver one product. It's kind of our ebook experience platform. Many APIs make it happen. So, understanding digital technology, okay, and understanding how digital technology can be a business enabler, can improve operational efficiency, can improve customer experience, can improve your business model, can drive down operational costs, can deliver a superior quality of service, becomes the focus for most businesses. Sorry, let me just quickly, I want to make sure that I'm not talking away and you guys are okay, so we're still here. All right, so now in that respect, okay, you would find that problem solving becomes 100% data driven. Well, it's kind of common sense, isn't it? If, and I think most of you have experienced this on the project you're working here at DBT, when it came to the short-let homes product, we realized very, very quickly that we were losing business. Most customers were canceling on Airbnb. And thank God we were able to identify this because we were driven by data long before. And we're not suffering as a result of it. We're still fully booked. Why? Because we had already identified that we should start investing in local bookings as a result of what the data was telling us. So now, as a business, while other people are shutting down, we are still doing well. Why? Because we have now capitalized on local bookings and we've identified a new market for us. We're focusing on the celebrities, we're focusing on business people moving from Abuja to Lagos, and people that just want to do Nollywood movies, and people that want to do music videos, and people that just want to get away from mommy and daddy's house. So we're making money from that market. And that was 100% data driven. So the old way of doing BA roles, where we sit down and have a knowledge background, and digital BAs will be expected to be versatile, and the role of a product owner stroke digital BA will become blurred as companies begin to think of how they can save. So I want to encourage everybody who is on the platform to start, not, don't say I want to just be a BA. Start taking on the role of both the BA and the product owner. But when you apply for work, say that you are a digital BA. So a lot of the people who CVs I'm writing, I put there data-driven, customer-centric digital BA with a key focus on product management. Yeah. Now, why? Because I'm letting the companies know that this person might be a digital BA, but he has the ability to also double up as a product owner. Because I know very soon you're going to be looking for hybrid professionals. So, why am I so sure of this? And I'm so sure of this because one of you called me up the other day and said, KG, and this is one of you alumni, KG, I have just, they've just let go all of the BAs in my company. And I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the punchline. And then she said, she said, I don't want to mention the person. I don't want to mention the gender of the person. And then the person said, but guess what? I said, what? They let me stay. They didn't let me go. And I was like, yeah, I don't expect them to let you go. And she was like, why? I said, well, pretty simple, really. You must have something that they don't have. But I let her talk. And she said, all the other BAs were traditional BAs. They didn't know digital. Obviously, when I joined the company, I started, you told me to do Scrum, I did my Scrum. You told me to do digital marketing, I did my digital marketing. So when I joined the company, it's actually a travel agency. And they had to rely heavily on their digital capabilities as a result of less and less people coming into stores to book their travels. So she, when she joined, was because of her digital marketing skills, was added to the digital marketing team. And then when they realized that they had to start having a lean approach to product development and not just jump on everything and have these big massive projects, she was the one that was involved in that, and she was creating the user stories, helping them set up the Agile Scrum environment, helping them set up Jira, Confluence, training people on it. So when this whole pandemic hit, they had to let the traditional BAs go because they didn't see value in them, but they couldn't let her go because they saw value in her. They told her, we can't let you go. Now, there's something additional I would like to share, but I can't because then if I do, most of you will know who she is. So, that there is being the Joseph of your time. That there is being the general who knows the future and as a result cannot lose the war. Now, these traditional BAs that lost their job are not the only one. Thousands of them will join. While they're trying to figure out what they need to do to upskill, you have a competitive advantage over them. You have the digital skills to gain that competitive advantage over them. The need for delivery managers will rise dramatically as continuous delivery and improvement, the improvement pipeline is streamlined and automated. Now, what do I mean by that? DevOps will now be more significant than ever before. Why? Because it's cheaper. It drives down operational costs. and it reduces the amount of errors and downtime that you have, and it keeps the uptime consistent. So your scrum master will double up as a delivery manager, your project manager will double up as a delivery manager. I want everybody to master DevOps. We have a new section on DevOps. If you haven't listened to it, go and start listening to it. Two areas you focus on: AWS and Azure. Okay, I'll get consultants in to help us in that area. So core investment areas will now be robotic process automation. I will send you a website where you can quickly learn that and get qualified in it. It's very easy, it's not hard. Why? Businesses are thinking, how can we automate 70% of our operations that are repetitive and get rid of 40% of our staff? Is this horrible? Maybe to you, the staff, but to me, the business, I need to continue making profit. I didn't build the business for you as an employee. I built the business for the shareholders. It sounds horrible, but get with the program so that you can be in employment. AI, machine learning, chatbots, another core area of investment. How can we drive down customer service, sales, and operational cost, improve overall operational efficiency and customer experience? How can we improve the fulfillment order and automate that process by creating an AI chatbot that can replace 60% of what a customer service or salesperson or support person does? This will be the focus area. So, Scrum Masters and skilled Agile coaches will see a significant rise in demand in their skills as businesses begin to adopt a lean, cross-functional, and product management team composed of versatilists, people that have multiple skills. So, I don't want you to sit down and say to yourself, I just want to do only this one. I don't want to do that one. You are shooting yourself in the foot. There are many of them outside that just want to do this one. Your competitive advantage is that you are a comb-shaped employee, which means you are a skilled business analyst, but you have specialist skills in data, specialist skills in DevOps, specialist skills in digital marketing, specialist skills in UX, specialist skills in XYZ. Okay? So, digital technology enthusiast is what I want you to become. A problem solver is what I want you to become. Position yourself as a solutions architect. Whether you're a project coordinator, whether you're a PMO analyst, whether you're a scrum master, you now need to start thinking of yourself as a solutions provider. Why? Because you will be what employers are looking for as they seek to kill two birds with one stone. And I need you to start building your specialist skills in certain areas. So if you look at job specifications now, you will see that they will say business analyst with Salesforce, or business analyst with artificial intelligence, or business analyst experience in robotics. You need to have a domain expertise, a domain knowledge in something. You have to, in a way, become a subject matter in something. The areas I'm going to tell you to build your subject matter expertise is in the area of APIs. Understand how APIs work. Understand API requirements engineering. Understand using APIs to solve problems. So, understanding how digital technology can be a solution, an enabler. I hope it makes sense. Let me just make sure, once again, I want to make sure that I'm still being recorded with no issues. Oops. Sorry guys, I can't see myself anymore. So, I want to confirm that you can see me. Now, Angela, sorry, 1 second. Can you see me? Sorry, 1 second. I need to increase the TV volume. 1 second. Hi, Angela. Can you see me?
No, we can't see you on YouTube.
Okay, so that means that's something that's happened. Just bear with me a second. So, something has clearly happened. Just hold on a second, yeah?
Yes.
It's saying live, but I can't see anything either. It's saying live, but I can't see anything either. Okay.
Well, there's nothing showing on this end.
All right, that's fine. I knew that that was going to happen. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set up a GoToWebinar. I knew it was going to happen. So unfortunately for the benefit of thank God we are here. So I'll send you the webinar link and then we can kick off from there. Okay.
Okay.
What is it? 12, 14.
Okay, the echo is killing my ears.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll sort that out as well. All right. So we're good in that respect. All right. So all right, guys. So I'm gonna cut this off. Okay.